Hi VC, Dale here, Gateful 33. This is a response video to a thread just started by Richard McCook on Desert Island female solo singers or all-girl groups. So I thought I'd do a response. I haven't given it a massive amount of thought, but I've got 10. I've got some massive cheats in here, I think, but yeah. So apologies if there's noise in the background. I've got the window open and the cars will be going past, but it's quite warm this morning. So let's go. First one is Gillian Welch, and The Harrow and the Harvest. So this originally came out on CD a few years ago, but was released a couple of years ago on vinyl, self-released, self-pressed, I think. Her, what's the label she does? Econi Publishing. So I'm hoping that she does some more. But yeah, great album, great artwork. So that's kind of Americana, US folk, Americana. Next, this is where it's maybe a slight cheat because there are some duets on this, but Nancy Sinatra. I would have had Nancy and Lee, but that's probably too much of a cheat. So Nancy Sinatra, obviously a lot of songs written for her by Lee Hazelwood, so that's where I picked this. I love Nancy's voice, I love Nancy's attitude, got quite a few Nancy Sinatra records, and just love the kind of, as I say, particularly the Lee Hazelwood written songs that she does are fantastic. But as I said, the best stuff is on the Nancy and Lee album. This is another, probably a bit of a cheat. So this is, it's probably like glare, it's in a sealed. So this is Josiane Clarke and Ben Walker. But there are UK folk singers. I'm not even sure if they're still a thing anymore. They not one but two copies of this album. There's a story behind that, but I won't go into it now. Yeah, so the folk duo, I've seen them live. I've got all their records pretty much, but recently Ben Walker has done solo stuff and Josiane's done solo stuff, which is great. So Ben tends to play the guitar, electric and acoustic guitar, and Josiane Clarke I think writes the songs and is the singer. So hence I think included it here. Fantastic folk, UK folk, with a kind of bit of pop twang to it, but with the most melancholic sound and most melancholic subject matter. So right up my alley. Yeah, fantastic. And you can check them out on Bandcamp. But yeah, well, highly recommended. Alright, this is bang for your buck on this. So I've gone for Lucinda Williams, and this album, Down Where the Spirit Meets the Bone, a triple album she put out in 2014. So again, Lucinda Williams is US folk Americana, kind of gets a little bit rockier. She's got something to say, she's got some attitude. These are kind of pretty long, drawn out, longer sort of 4, 5, 6 minute songs, where she gets to say what she has to say. So yeah, I do like Lucinda Williams. She puts out quite a lot, so I'll have to be in the mood. So I've got several of her albums, but I don't buy everything. But I enjoyed this, but it is a long listen. But for a desert island, that's probably what you'll want. Talking of, yeah, so this is the next one is a complete cheat as well then. So the next one is the artist Janelle Monae. I think I've shown her before, and her first EP and 2 albums, she adopted a persona, and it was around kind of She was a robot, a robot here, sort of counterculture, underground hero, fighting against the man, the machine, or the humans, and it was kind of, I think it had a lot of sort of political, sexist, racist, as in anti-racist, anti-sexism, and all that kind of thing. So it had a kind of theme going through it. So what I've done, so my cheat, if I'm taking it on Desert Island, is this is the EP she brought out, which was called The Chase Suite. Then her next album that she brought out, Arch Android, continued the story, and that was Suites 2 and 3. And then the next album she brought out, Electric Lady. Sorry, I should have shown you in a good films. Electric Lady was Suites 4 and 5. So I'm counting that as one album. So she does what she does very. It's a whole mix. I guess it's called modern soul, R&B. So it's got that theme to it. There's a lot of kind of, she has guest artists, and it works for me. Well, I wouldn't, probably if you listen to it, you wouldn't think, well, wouldn't be the thing that I would have, but for some reason it works for me. I don't know whether it's the kind of the storyline or whatever, but I really enjoy that. So that's Janelle Monae. Next, I've shown this before. This is something I've got to in the last few years. Found out through the VC. So that is NancyPretty, and You've Come This Way Before. This is an original. I've got 2 originals and a reissue of this album, so I must like it. It's this kind of folk singer-songwriter, light psych. It's got some real trippy stuff on it. Her only album, she brought this out in '69, and I think she made another album in the 2000s. And she is, I guess, famously, if that's the right term, the mother of Christina Applegate, the actress. But NancyPretty, a fantastic album of, I say, light folk psych. Another one I've shown before, Sandy Denny. Love Sandy Denny. I must admit, prefer Sandy Denny in Fairport Convention probably than I do Sandy Denny's solo stuff. I've said this before as well. I don't think she made 3 good solo albums in my view, and 1 okay solo album, but she didn't make a great solo album. She had some great songs within those solo albums, but she didn't make one great. I think the stuff she did with Fairport Convention is stronger, but for the solo stuff, this is probably the best in my view of the solo albums that she did. They're all really, really good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think there's an absolute great one. Okay, next, another artist I absolutely adore. This album, Amy Winehouse. This has got real attitude. Done in 30 odd minutes, or around that time. Some great songs. All the songs are fantastic, and sad loss that died far too young, but left us with this iconic and fantastic album. Amy Winehouse and Back to Black. Okay, my top 2 now, or probably my top 2. So I'm coming in at number 2, Dusty Springfield, and my favourite Dusty album. This is a beautiful Sunday morning or a Saturday night album, Dusty in Memphis. Excuse me. Every song is fantastic on this album, and it just flows beautifully. I won't go into the backstory on it. I am going to do in one of my show and tells something on Dusty Springfield. I've recorded it 5 times now. I'm not happy with it, so I've left it, and I might come back to it. But Dusty Springfield, Dusty in Memphis, great album. My final one, number 1, So anyone who's seen my videos, Kate Bush, and I was going to show Hounds of Love because Richard showed this album, because I kind of really am in the balance between whether Hounds of Love or The Dreaming are my favourite Kate Bush albums, but I think this is just her such a fantastic, eclectic mix that this one tips the balance still. So I'm going to sneeze. This one tips the balance, and I would still take this, even though I was going to try and be different and show something different to Richard. This one has to go. So yeah, Kate Bush, The Dreaming. It's just got such madness, and which makes it great. And then my compilation. So I had two choices here, and I had to kind of choose. And in the end, I went for this. So I'm in an RM whether Grace Jones would have got into the list or not, but I think I'll go with Island Life, her greatest hits album. So she narrowly won over a comp of Aretha Franklin's Atlantic singles that I was going to put in. So that's obviously this has got our hits on it, but yeah, Grace Jones gets in as the compilation. Okay, thanks, bye.